Why Jesus is not the Father in the Bible. In Christianity, Jesus is often described as the Son of God and believed to have a divine nature. However, it is important to note that Jesus himself never claimed to be the Father in the Bible. There are several reasons why the biblical narrative does not support the assertion that Jesus is God or the Father. 1. Jesus' unique relationship with the Father. Throughout the New Testament, Jesus consistently refers to God as the Father and emphasizes their unique relationship. For instance, in John 14:28, Jesus says, "You heard me say, I am going away and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would be glad that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I am." Here, Jesus clearly distinguishes himself from the Father, indicating that they are distinct beings with different roles. 2. Jesus' human nature. The Bible portrays Jesus as fully human, with a human nature consisting of physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects. It is taught that Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary, lived a human life, and experienced the same temptations and emotions as any other person. This human aspect of Jesus sets him apart from the Father, who is depicted as a divine being with no physical limitations. 3. Jesus' subordination to the Father. In the New Testament, Jesus repeatedly demonstrates his subordination to the Father. In Matthew 26:39, Jesus says, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Here, Jesus expresses his willingness to submit to the will of the Father, acknowledging their different roles and authority. 4. The titles and attributes of God. The Bible refers to God using various titles and attributes, such as Creator, Lord, and Almighty. These titles and attributes are exclusive and unique to God, and they are not applied to Jesus. In John 1:18, Jesus himself declares that he is the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. This verse does not imply that Jesus is the same as the Father, but rather that he is an intermediary between humanity and the Father. 5. The Trinity doctrine. The teaching of the Trinity, which asserts that there are three persons in one God, is a theological concept that developed later in church history. While the Bible does not explicitly teach the Trinity, many Christians believe that it is consistent with the overall witness of Scripture. However, it is important to acknowledge that the Trinity doctrine was not fully developed and agreed upon until much later. In conclusion, Jesus is not the Father in the Bible. Jesus has a unique relationship with the Father, including his subordination and distinct nature. The Bible consistently portrays Jesus as human and refers to God as the Father, using different titles and attributes for God alone. The Trinity doctrine, while held by many Christians, was not fully developed or affirmed until later in church history.